I think we'll start for now. It's 1 o'clock. So everyone, welcome to the Momentum Learning Number Sense Basics Open House. Thank you guys for all coming out here today and attending this open house. So before we start, can everyone turn on their cameras for me? Just so that we can make sure that everyone's paying attention. I'm Justin. I'll be the instructor for this class. I've been doing number sense for a long time. I've been doing math contests since elementary school, and I've won a bunch of awards in number sense in competitions like PMSCA, UIL, mathleague.org, and I've placed highly in most of the competitions I've been in for number sense. In my free time, I like to hang out with my friends and listen to music. So this is the number sense basics class. You can see all the information on the Momentum Learning website. It's 12 weeks from September 10th to December 3rd. There's no class on the week of Thanksgiving, so no class on November 26th, and it's for grades 5 to 7. So in this class, we go over a bunch of topics in number sense. The whole syllabus, I guess, is here. So every week, basically what will happen is I'll go through a couple of tricks or ideas that I feel like are important to learn for number sense. Uh and then we'll go through how to use the tricks. We'll go over practice, then we'll also play a game for review. And at the end of every class, there'll be homework. I know it may not sound like a lot of fun to do homework for an online class, but trust me, the homework is the only way that you'll be able to get better at number sense. And it'll be the only way that you can actually develop your mental math skills, become faster at math. What is number sense? So basically, number sense is a 80 question test in which you have 10 minutes to solve as many questions as you can. And the cool thing about number sense is that it's only mental math. You're only allowed to use your skills and you're not allowed to show any work. The real question is how do I become better at number sense? And the answer to that is basically just a lot of memorization and practice. In this class, we'll go over a lot of tricks that will help you in number sense. And if you learn how to recognize the tricks and do them accurately and then quickly, you'll be able to do well in number sense. Because in number sense, it's a lot about tricks. There's going to be many questions which you can just instantly solve because of a trick you know. But another thing that you need to be good at number sense is also practice. Even if you know as many tricks as you can possibly know, but you've never practiced the tricks, then there's no way that you're going to be that good at number sense, because in the end, practice will always beat tricks no matter how fast the tricks are. So that's why we give you guys homework in this class. It's to make sure that you guys know the tricks first through class material, and then homework is just to make sure that you guys practice tricks so you can learn to recognize them a real number sense test. Here are the places where you can find number sense. So there's TMSCA, which is hosted in Texas elementary schools and middle schools. So how many of you guys have either competed or heard of TMSCA before? You can just raise your hand. Looks like very few of you have heard of TMSCA, but TMSCA offers number sense. There's also a thing called UIL that has number sense. It's basically for high schools in Texas. And then there's also mathleague.org, which is in elementary school, which has number sense. So have any of you guys competed or heard of mathleague.org before? Okay. So more people than Team SCA. Okay. That's so good. Okay. So now let's go over one of the most common tricks that you'll see in number sense. And it's called FOIL or Leoff. So basically what FOIL or Leoff stands for is last, inner, outer, first. So it's basically a fast way to do two-digit times two-digit multiplication. And you usually use this rule only if there exists no other rule to fast multiplication. So for our example, 23 times 12. So let's see how we do Leoff. So first in Leoff, what you do is you take the two last numbers. So you take the 3 and the 2. That's what last stands for, the L. So the last number of your answer is the units digit of the product of the units digits. So our units digits in this case are 3 and 2. So that means that the last number of our answer is the units digit of the product of 3 and 2. So we all know that 3 times 2 is 6. So that means that our last digit is 6. So now we go on to the next step. Multiply the outside, then multiply the inside. That's what the I and O of Leoff stand for, inside and outside. So what multiplying the outside means is you take the outside digits. So in this case, it would be the 2 for 23 and the 2 in 12. So we do 2 times 2, which is 4. And then we multiply the inside digits. So the inside digits are the numbers on the inside of the multiplication symbol. So in this case, it's the 3 of 23 and the 1 and 12. So we have 3 times 1, which is 3. So the next step of Leoff is that you add these two like digits together. So what is 4 plus 3? Yeah, 7. Okay, so that means that our next digit is 7. And now we go to the last step of Leoff, which is F, which stands for first. So you take the two first digits of each number, you multiply them. So we have 2 times 1, which we all know is 2. So that's our first digit. So this is our answer. 276 is 23 times 12. So does anyone have any questions over how we got to that number? Oh yeah, if you have a question in this class, you can unmute and just ask. You don't have to raise your hand for permission. All right, if everyone's good, we can look at this. So this is basically what we just did. Remember, it's last, inner, outer, first. So the last is 3 times 2 because it's the two last digits. Then we do inner. So the inner is the two inner digits of each number. So the 3 and 23 and the 1 and 12. So we take that product, it's 3 times 1. Then we take the outer digits are the 2 and 23 and the 2 and 12. So we have 2 times 2, which is 4, and then 3 times 1, which is 3. And we add the two numbers together to get our middle number, which is 7. And then we do first. So we take the two first digits of each number, 2 and 23 and 1 and 12. We multiply them, we get 2, and that's our first digit. And then if you make all the digits into one number, we get 276. Okay, so now let's go on to some practice with this. So I'll do the first one for example, or the first two for example, and then I'll ask the chat for other questions or for the other ones. So let's look at 45 times 31. So remember, Leoff, last, inner, outer, first. Okay, so the first step in Leoff is last. So let's take the last digits of each number, 5 and 1. Okay, what is 5 times 1? Anyone can unmute. Yeah, yeah, it's just 5. So that means the last digit of our number is 5. Then let's do inner. So what are the two inner digits of 45 times 31? Okay, so the two inner digits are 5 and 3. So let's do 5. Let's write 5 times 3. So what is 5 times 3?
15.
Yeah, 15. So that's our inner product. So now we've done last, we've done inner. So now let's go to outer. So the two outer digits of the number are 4 and 1. So we multiply them. 4 times 1 is 4. But now we have to add inner and outer. So if we add 15 plus 4, we get 19, right? But unlike before, since this number is greater than 10, we don't actually write 19 in front of the 5. We only write the units digit, so we write 9, and we'll carry the 1 for later. Okay, does that make sense for everyone? How we only take the units digit, and then we'll carry the 1 for later. And then now we do first. So 4 for 45 is the first number, and 3 for 31 is the first number. So we have 4 times 3, which is 12. So, but then remember that we also have the 1 carried over from the 19. So we add ones to the 12, and we get 13. So that means that our answer is 1395. All right, does everyone understand how I got to that number? And if you don't, it's completely fine. So you can either like unmute, raise your hand, or even you can send me a chat message, like a private chat message if you want. But like, please be sure to speak up if you have any trouble. All right. If no one has any questions, we'll move on to the next one. So now we have 31 times 62. Again, Leoff. Last, inner, outer, first. So what are the last two digits? The last two digits are 1 in 31 and 2 in 62. So 1 times 2 is 2, right? So 2 is the last digit of our number. Now let's move on to inner. So the two inner digits are 1 in 31 and 6 in 62. So we have 1 times 6, that's 6. So we've done inner. Let's go to outer. The outer digits are 3 and 2. So 3 times 2 is also 6. So if we add 6 and 6, we get 12, right? So again, since this number is greater than 10, we'll only take the units digit of the number and write it down in our answer. So we'll have another 2. And then we'll take this 1 and carry it for later. So we'll put a +1 here. So now we've done last, inner, outer. So let's do first. Okay. So the first digits of each number are 3 and 6. So we multiply them. 3 times 6 is 18. But also remember that we have the 1 carried over from the 12 here. So we have to add 1 to 18, and we get 19. So I know it looks a little like messy, but if we add them up, if we put all the numbers together, our answer is 1922. So does anyone have any questions on how I got to 1922? No? All right. We can try the next 3 for practice. So I'll give you guys like a minute each for them. And then if you're finished, please like private message me. And I'll say if the answer is correct or not. Okay, so I'll start going over the questions. If you're ahead, you can keep working. Uh, I'll just be going over them. Okay, so let's go through number 3. So number 3 is again Leoff at last inner outer first. So let's take the last two digits. The last two digits are 4 and 3. So we know that 4 times 3 is 12. But like before, since this number is greater than 10, we only take the units digit and we put it at the end. So that's 2. And then we'll carry the 1 for later. So we'll put a +1, I guess, here. So now let's do inner. The two inner digits are 4 and 7. So 4 times 7 is 28. So now let's do outer. Outer digits are 6 and 3. So we have 6 times 3, which is 18. So now if we add 28 and 18, we'll get 46. But remember that we have a 1 carried over from the 12 previously. So if we add 1 to this, we'll have 47. So now we take the units digit of this again because it's greater than 10. So we write 7 in our answer. So now we have to carry the 4. So let's just put a +4 for our next multiplication. So if we have a +4, we get 6, and then we do the first digit. So the first digits are 6 and 7. So if we do 6 times 7, we get 42. But remember again, we have 4 carried over from this 47. So if we do 42 plus 4, we have 46. So our answer becomes 4672. Does anyone have any questions about that? Okay. I'll just give you guys the answers for the next two so that we can move on to our Kahoot. So if you do these two, you should get these two answers. Okay. So now we'll be playing Kahoot. So in every class that we do, we'll go over a trick and then we'll play a Kahoot to make sure that like we know the trick really well, and it also serves as extra practice. So go to www.kahoot.it and enter in this code 771340. Okay. So does anyone need an explanation on how this one works? No? Okay. Okay. Well, I'll explain if like
Yeah,
I guess
can
no
you
one gets.
explain it?
Okay, you want an explanation? Okay, so the question was 13 times 26. So let's do Leoff. So Leoff again, last inner outer first. So the last two digits are 3 and 6. So 3 times 6 is 18, right? So we take the last digit, that's 8, and we write it down in our answer. But then we have to take the 1 from this and carry it over to the next step. So we put a +1 for the carry. Now let's do inner. So the inner digits are 3 and 2. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then we do outer. The outer digits are 1 and 6. So 1 times 6 is also 6. So if we add these two numbers together, we have 6 plus 6, which is 12. Okay. But then also remember that we have the carry of this +1 from 18. So we have to add 1, we get 13. Does that make sense? Okay. So then we take the units digit, which is 3, and we write it. But then again, we have to carry this 1 from 13. So let's write another +1. And then now let's do first. So the first digits are 1 and 2. So 1 times 2 is 2. So if we add 2 plus 1, we get 3. So that means our first digit is 3. Okay. Does that make sense for everyone? Yes?
Yes.
No? Okay. Okay, yeah. Let's move on. All right. Okay, so does anyone need an explanation on this one? No? Okay, we'll move on to the next question. Okay. Does anyone want me to explain this question? Or are we all good? All good? Okay. And again, like, don't be scared to ask for help. Like, asking for help is always natural. Like, there's always going to be a question that you don't know how to do. So, like, never feel scared. Okay. Okay. Does anyone need an explanation for this one? Or are we okay? Okay. Okay. Well, I think we'll play 10 questions with this. So, even though it says 20. Okay. Does anyone want an explanation on this one? No? Okay. Okay, I'll go back. Yeah. Okay. So someone asked for explanation of the previous question. So I'll quickly go over that. So the previous question was 13 times 15. So let's do Leoff on this. So remember, Leoff is last, inner, outer, first. So let's look at the last digits. The last digits are 3 and 5. So we know that 3 times 5 is 15. But again, since it's a two-digit result, we only take the last number, which is 5, and we'll carry the 1 for later. Okay, so now let's do inner. So inner digits are 3 and 1. So we have 3 times 1 is 3. And then outer, so 1 and 5. So 1 times 5 is 5. So if we add 3 and 5, we should get 8. But again, remember that we have this carry 1 from the previous operation. So we have 8 plus 1, which is 9. So that means our next digit is 9. And then now let's do first. The first digits of each number are 1 and 1. So we have 1 times 1, which is 1. So that's just our first number. So then this becomes our answer. Does that help you? Like the explanation? Okay. And does anyone need an explanation for the previous question, which is 22 times 54? No? Okay. I'll move on. Okay. Okay, yeah. The answer is 323. Okay, does anyone need explanation for this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's do it. So we have, okay, wait, let me go to the next page. Okay. So the question was 19 times 17. Okay. So let's do Leoff. Last, inner, outer, first. So if we look at the last digits, 9 times 7. So what is 9 times 7? Anyone?
63.
Yeah,
That'll be
60.
63.
Yeah, 63. So we have 9 times 7 is 63. So again, since this number is two digits, you should only take the last digit. So we have 3. And then we should carry this 6 for later. So we carry 6. So now let's do the next operation, inner. So the inner digits are 9 and 1. So 9 times 1 is just 9. Okay. And then, so now let's do outer. Outer digits are 1 and 7. So 1 times 7 is just 7. So if we add the two, 9 plus 7, we should get 16. But instead, remember that we still have a carry 6 from previously. So if we add 16 to 6, get 22. So now let's take the last digit, which is 2, and then carry this 2. So we have another carry of 2. Okay. And now we're only left with first. So the first two numbers are 1 and 1. So you have 1 times 1, which is 1. If we add the carry 2, you just get 3 as our first number. So our answer becomes 323. Does that make sense for everyone? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's good that you guys are asking questions because it shows that you guys are trying. So keep it up. Okay, let's go to the next. Okay. Does anyone need a explanation for this one? Are
Yes,
we all good?
please.
Okay, yes. Okay. So we have 20, we have 23 times 26. So let's do lead off. Last inner out first. So let me write that. So if we take the last digits, we have 3 and 6. So 3 times 6 is 18. So we take the last digit of this number, just 8, and we write it at the end of our answer. And then we still have to carry this 1. So let's put a carry 1 here, and let's move on. So now inner, the two inner digits are 3 and 2. So we have 3 times 2, which is 6. And then outer digits are 2 and 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. So if we add 12 and 6, we should get 18. But remember that we have a carry 1 from before. So if we carry this 1, we have 19. So then we take the 9, the last digit, we write it in our answer, and then we should carry this 1 for future. So let's put a carry 1 again. Now let's do first. The first digits are 2 and 2. So we have 2 times 2, which is 4. And if we carry the 1, we get 5. So that's the first digit of our answer. So our answer becomes 598. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We'll do two more of this, man. Okay. Does anyone need explanation for this question? Are we all good? All good? Okay. This is the last question of the Kahoot that we'll do. So, okay. Does anyone need an explanation for this question? Or are you good? Okay. So congratulations to Bowen, Lucas, Jumpscare, and Halbert. So yeah. So now we'll just briefly go over another trick, and it'll be the end of the open house. So let's go back to this PowerPoint. So the next trick I'll show you guys is how you multiply a two digit number by 101. So this is like one of the easiest tricks to use. And the good thing about it is it always shows up on the test. Like I think in almost every test I've seen, I've just seen a basic application of this trick. So in this trick, all you have to do is just write the two-digit number twice. So in this example, we have 93 times 101. The answer to it is just 9393. So if we look here, we have 9393. So does anyone have a question about how this trick is used?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, what is it?
So, like, the thing is, like, why do you do it like two times?
Okay, yeah, so that's a good question. So like if we the reason this trick works is if we look at like the long or like the like I guess long multiplication. Or wait, actually no, it's not like okay. It's in its essence, 101 is equal to 100 plus 1, right? Does everyone
Yeah.
understand? Yeah. So if we multiply this by a number, say 93, then by like the distributive property, we can, this is also 101, right? So if we distribute it evenly, we also have 93 times 100 plus 93 times 1. And we can confidently say that this is equal to 93 times 101. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So now if we look at this, 93 or a two-digit number times 100 is always going to be the two-digit number followed by two zeros, right? And if we add a two-digit number times 1, then the two-digit number will always go under these two zeros, right? Does that make sense? Because
Yeah, that makes
the,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, so if we add it like this, then we'll always have the two-digit number twice, right? Because if we multiply a two-digit number by 100, it's always the two-digit number followed by two zeros. And we add it by the two-digit number itself, which goes under the two zeros. So if we add them, you'll always get two copies of the two-digit number, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like I like that question because it shows that you're trying to figure out like how the trick actually works instead of just memorizing the trick, which is like a really good thing to like be doing because you shouldn't just be like memorizing tricks plainly. You should also like know how the trick works so then you can apply it to other concepts. So now we just have a couple practice questions, I guess, but these are like, yeah, you can just work on them. So I'll do the first one, I guess. So we have 45 times 101. So again, the trick is you just write the two-digit number twice. So 45 times 101, it's just 4545. And then does anyone want to do the next question? I like just say the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
6,262.
Yeah. Does anyone want to do the next?
I guess I'll do it.
Yeah.
You can just unmute and say the answer.
7,272.
Yeah. And then keep going.
6,969.
Yeah. Okay, last one.
9,494.
Yeah. Okay. Good job. So yeah, that's one of the more fun tricks to use because it takes very little effort to memorize. Okay, so I think that's near the. Usually we would play a Kahoot after that, but it's 45 minutes. So that's the end of the open house for number sense basics. I hope that you guys sign up for the class, and I would be really excited to have all of you guys as students. You guys seem like very smart bunch of like people, and I hope that you guys will hopefully want to like learn more about number sense with me. So here's all the contact information for Momentum Learning. And again, if you want to register for the class, just go to the momentumlearning.org website. It'll be under 2023 fall, online, and then school math, and then number sense basics, if you guys want to. And here's any of the contact information for Momentum Learning if you guys have any questions over anything. And yeah, thank you guys for coming to open house. And if you have any questions, feel free to stay behind and ask your questions. I'd be more than happy to answer.